Everybody, today I'm replacing the thermostat on a 2014 GMC Sierra 1500. Let's go check it out. Here's what we got to do. Right here is the actual thermostat itself. We'll have to remove this air assembly. There's a couple hoses that needs to be removed. The radiator hose, remove it. And then that's a few 10mm bolts. Just take those off. All right, here's the AutoZone part number for that. And it comes with the neck housing and the thermostat all intact. All right, first, remove the negative post to your battery, 10mm nut. Next, remove this air housing. You do it by pressing on these white tabs. You got one on this side, one on that side over there. Press and remove. Next, loosen up these hose clamps. You got one here and one in the back. Loosen it up, shimmy the hose away from the air duct, and lift this out. All right, with that air box removed, it's pretty easy access here. You'll see the bolts that attach the neck to the thermostat. You could hit these clamps with some WD-40 because when you remove these hoses, it'll be a little bit easier. And I hit this one up over here because I'm going to remove that one so that when I have to refill it, it should be good to go. All right, with the clamp loosened up, you squeeze it and you just walk it up the hose off of the neck. With all clamps removed, remove the hoses. All right, with the hoses removed, 10mm, take those 3 bolts out. All right, with the bolts off, set them off to dry because when you go to put them back, I'm going to put a little bit of Loctite on there so they don't get loose. Now you just remove that neck. There it is. You can see the rubber gasket still on there, so you want to remove that next. All right, with it removed, you just want to clean that surface. It's really not that bad before you put the new thermostat on. All right, here you have the old thermostat and housing with the rubber gasket that actually sits inside that seat. You can see here it's already attached here. So we're going to put this new one in. So a couple points before you go to fasten that in. When you go to put the bolts in, alternate them, tighten them down just a little bit each as you go around. And the second is that's going into an aluminum housing, and the neck on that is like a hard plastic, so you don't want to over tighten. You want it snug. It has that rubber gasket that should seal it just fine. All right, with these 2 hoses back on, I'm now going to go to this end that's not on yet and pour some antifreeze in while I lift this up to replenish that fell out and get all the air out of this, get most of the air out of the system. Then I'll put this hose back on. Now, tighten up that clamp. All right, with all the clamps on, put the air box back on, the reverse of how I took it off. I'm going to fill up the antifreeze reservoir and start the truck. Let it cycle through. Put the heat on high so that it actually goes through the heating core and flush out all the air bubbles. All right, no leaks. Let's take it for a ride. All right, watching the temperature, you can see here, these thermostats are set for 207 degrees. So you can see right about there, it hit probably the mark where the thermostat's opening up and circulating the antifreeze through. So far, it looks pretty good. All right, everybody, that job is done. Glad to have that replaced. No leaks. Seems to be going good. Thanks for tuning in.